Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are on planet Earth. Here I am, Brandalene Johnson, your spiritual awakening coach, psychic medium, author, and educator. And I am presently in Las Vegas, Nevada, normally in Michigan, Traverse City, Michigan. And I am coming at you this whole week with free paranormal trainings. Probably will package these up and get them on the website as a series for for a couple bucks. Hold on. The live died on Facebook, so hold on really quick, you guys. So we're pinpointing today your paranormal activity and cleansing tips. You guys on YouTube have to be patient. Go live. Let's see what happens. I don't know why that happened. If it happens again, I'll just continue on YouTube. So, okay. I'm back on Facebook, so we'll see. But anyway, been coming at you live all this week. So if you haven't seen it and you're watching this one going, what the hell is going on? Go back either in our group, Your Spiritual Awakening Community on Facebook. Totally, you YouTubians are so welcome to be there. Hey, I'm Mario. Good morning. If you're not there, be there and check out the whole training series that we did. You could just search the group for paranormal training. Probably should have used a couple hashtags there for you, but I didn't. Or on YouTube, it's super easy to find it. Spiritual Awakening Babe on YouTube. The last 4 days, today's day 5 of trainings to help you guys feel more comfortable in your skin and in your environments. So I see the peeps in the Facebook group are starting to find me now, waving at y'all. It's 222 just now from YouTube. Hey Trish, good morning. So I had planned to do today's training on house blessings, and I am going to give you guys a couple tips, but I did receive a message from somebody that was having her own unique problems, and I thought to myself, I told her to reach out. You guys, any of you guys that don't realize, you can get a hold of me. We can get a one-on-one session. You just go to my website, brandalene.com, and there's sessions. It's under sessions. I can always coach you personally. Hey, Annie, made it to the live. For your unique problems. So don't feel like I'm not accessible. Go there. I don't have that many one-on-one openings available, but they're there. So go get them, and then we could schedule something. Usually I like to do my sessions currently at the time that I'm making this on Thursdays. But if you have something pressing, reach out and we can talk through your unique situation. So my whole point about saying that, I said I had received a message and this girl needed some more specific help. And so I thought to myself, well, I'm going to change today's training to not only just help her, but to help all of you other guys pinpoint your paranormal activity, because I'm going to tell you this is super important. And I also want to tell you that a lot of the stuff that I gave you this week for free was actually a paid program worth several $100s off my website, and I kind of almost gave you guys almost the whole paid program. It was a little dark side program that I maybe, like I said earlier, packaging this up. Anyways, the point of me saying this is that I wanted to maybe help her and help you guys be able to pinpoint your paranormal activity, because that is exactly what you need to do. If you have a problem, you've got to figure out, where did it come from? Where's the source of it? And so I always teach my students, and I always personally myself will start interviewing. I call it an interviewing my clients to help them pinpoint when it started, where it started, what's going on, because there's many reasons why you might have a creeper, right? This whole week we talked about the vibrational thing. If you're in a low vibrational thing, if you're in this, and if you're in that, but that's one of the things I ask people. It's like, well, when did it start? When did it start? Right? You got to ask yourself that. When did it start? Did you just move to a new house? Did you just get a divorce? Did your husband just start beating you? Um, did you have it before and it keeps following you from house to house? Right? Um, did it happen after you went on a vacation to someplace creepy and then you came home and things just weren't right anymore? Did it happen after you went to the antique shop and bought that antique and brought it home? Right? Did it happen after your children were playing with a Ouija board? Right? Um, and then also some of the questions you need to ask yourself is, depending on the answers to all those other questions is, so, okay, if you just moved to a place and it's happening, I've had people say it's not only happening in my house, it's happening in the neighbor's house. We got to talking and found out that activity is going on our whole street. Well, then you got to start looking into the land, right? We had somebody in our group post the other day about how she went to a certain place in Michigan and just felt overwhelmed, like, I got to get out of this whole town. Well, you got to ask yourself that. There could have been a lot of you guys. How many of you guys live down where the Civil War was? There's a lot of unrest in those states down there. Or like far up in Michigan, or the place where the Native Americans were. They maybe put a spell on the land, or maybe there was a lot of unrest in that area. There's a super haunted house. I think it was called the Doherty House at the top of the Old Mission Peninsula. Any of you Michiganders on here watching? Where that is super haunted because of this guy. He was the first like white settler, and the Native Americans like hated him, but then he had all these children, and he beat and raped his own children. That house is so haunted. It's like one of the first couple places I went to, and that's when I was like, paranormal, not for me, thanks. But like I said, I ended up having to learn to help all you guys with your paranormal problems just because of becoming well known as that psychic medium and starting to help more and more people. So you want to ask all those questions of yourself, of your client, so that you can help pinpoint it. Some people, like we talked about earlier this week, maybe they had this problem ever since they were a kid, and there was, abuse in her home, and she maybe had this a little bit of an attachment, and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger as she gets older, right? So good morning, Suzette. Good morning, Lindsay. Hey, how are you guys? I'm glad you guys are joining me on the live. And M. Lansing says, yeah, I used a board as a teenager and I got haunted for a few years, well, terrorized until I got used to it, and then I was normal, but it left some time ago. See? So the whole Ouija board thing, I always recommend don't use it. Just don't. It is a tool to call upon spirit, but you don't know how to use it, right? Hello, Lindsay. I always tell my clients, don't use them. Don't use Ouija boards. You should use your own self. Like, that's why I teach the Awaken program, to utilize your own self, using your own protection measures and your own tools and your own spiritual team instead of that type of tool. I've had some really bad, not my experiences, but people that have reached out to me, where it's like, if you have those really bad, and see, and Lansing saying it's still in my mom's house. I never got rid of it. I just haven't lived there in years. So it's still there, right? So what I would recommend for that is like, put the Ouija board in salt, or go bury it where nobody will ever find it. And sprinkle some salt in there with it. That would be perfect. So I do want to give you guys a couple tips on the house cleansings, or not necessarily house, but cleansings, right? So somebody had asked in our group before, is there, do we always have to pay somebody to come get rid of our creepers? Or do we have the power to clear them ourselves? Or do you have to have a specialist come in based on what type of creeper it is? And I call all the dark creepers. I love that question, so I'm bringing it here live for you. Do we have the power to get rid of ourselves? Yes, most of the time. Do we have to pay somebody to help us? Sometimes. Do we have to have a specialist specializing for a certain kind of creeper? Sometimes, right? It kind of depends on the magic, right? Or the medicine, as Native Americans would put it. What type of medicine is going on with your creeper? So if you've been cursed, right? If you've gotten cursed by who's the people that curse? Voodoo. If you got a voodoo curse put on you by a voodoo priestess, you're gonna be better off like learning the voodoo technique or getting yourself another voodoo priestess in the light to come help you. Shamanism is a great way to get rid of creepers because they take them from this plane and put them back into their little realm that they need to belong into. Because remember, in day one we talked about what is the dark, and they are one with us, right? They just maybe sometimes got misplaced, got out of their little realm, and got stuck with you, right? Margaret says, I saw a vortex between myself and a guy I had never met. It took me a few years to figure out something attached to me. Very interesting. Some of us can have small attachments that we're not even aware of, right? Like dust bunnies. You think of it like dust bunnies. Yeah, like dust bunnies. So some of the tips I wanted to share with you guys that are kind of seem simple, but it seems to me that a lot of people forget this part when they're going to do a cleansing. It's really important for you to open the doors of the environment that you're going to be cleansing. Some of you guys are super newbies and are like, how do I sage? So it's like open your doors, because it's almost like, I always remember the dentist saying that you need to floss your teeth before you brush. Otherwise you brush your teeth and then you floss and then you have debris still in your mouth, right? So using that analogy, you guys gotta love my analogies, right? Using that analogy, you've got to open the doors before you sweep the house, right? So that the energy could get out. So open it one door. You could open all the doors. I've had it in winter and I just open the back door with a crack and set the intention that everything's going to flow out there. And then, you're going to be going through your entire house, saging and cleansing and blessing and setting that intention and having your Archangel Michael with you. And there's so many different things. And I didn't bring my notepad today to share some of the tips that I had written down for you. But, again, one of those things is pinpointing that creeper. Did it come from a curse? Is your land cursed? Anybody want, here's something interesting too, is I've always helped people up until a certain point, and then there's sometimes, especially when it has to do with the land, that, that's why it's so great to be in a position such as myself, where I end up meeting like 100 million psychics, 100 million mediums. We all specialize in something, right? And so one of the girls that I love to recommend when it comes to land, so if you guys ever want to reach out to her, she is clairsentient, so she has the ability to just look at a map and tell you what's going on with your land. I've not used her, but I've referred her a kabillion times, and her name is Miss Katy McSweeny. She lives up in northern Michigan. She used to live in Traverse, but she's amazing, and she also makes like a land tincture to like sprinkle on your land, and that's her website, MissKatyMcSweeny.com, and I think it's MS, not MISS. So you could check that out, but I think her website's down. But anyway, if you ever needed to reach out to her, you can message me and I'll get you guys in connection. But these are all some of the different things that you could do. Another thing that I had done when I had the shaman come to my house, right? Just because I'm who I am doesn't mean that, yeah, hey Amanda, what's going on, girl? I'll read your comment in a second. Just because I'm me doesn't mean that I don't reach out to other people, because we had some crazy experiences with my husband, especially, and a lot of the tools that I tried to give him, right? He wasn't either doing them or wasn't working, so we had the shaman come over. And one of the things I really love that he did in our house is he got the tourmaline. Let me go, or not tourmaline, I'll be right back. The, like selenite, right? Little selenite chunks, and see how it looks like, oh, you guys on Facebook probably can't see that. See how it almost looks like string cheese to me, or fiber optics, and how energy could run along the lines of this. So we put little chunks of this along, like, hey, see? the door frame, and all around my office. And the reason why we did it all around my office, and you could do that all around the doors to your home, is it creates this fiber optic shield that goes around so that nobody could come from the outside and cord in on me. When I say cord in, think about me being a coach and a psychic medium and helping people speak to their loved ones, but also helping people with their negative entities, um, or anything. If you guys start thinking about me and start talking about me, it starts cording to me, right? And then I have so many little tiny cords attached to me, whether you're being nice or not, right? So he put those in the office so that and then I have like this virtual sun visor window. When I'm ready to work, I'm like, come through the window, spirit, and then go back out the window. But that fiber optics is a great thing. You could put selenite along your doorways, and then you can also put tourmaline in the four corners, black tourmaline in the four corners of your house or office, and that's how I have mine, right? So Amanda says, well, dang, spirit is majorly at work. You popped up on my timeline just when I was going to message you about something pretty similar. So, hey, LOL, awesome. Yeah, Amanda, we just did a whole week's training of this. So check it out. Probably those videos will answer every freaking question you have. Awesome. And like I was saying, you guys are more than welcome to reach out for a one-on-one session on my website, brandaline.com/sessions. So these are some of the tips I wanted to give you to pinpoint the paranormal activity, because those are the questions I'm going to ask you on a one-on-one. When did it start? What was going on in your life at that moment? You know? How long has it been going on? You know? Right? So Mario said, I had a spirit bothering me for 2 days in the night. All of it said was don't, over and over, and lost lots of sleep. Right? Yeah. Sometimes you just have a roamer, right? Roamers are spirits that are just walking around trying to find somebody to get their message, or trying to get energy from somewhere, and then when they can't and you're not weak enough, they leave. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this week's training. I probably packaged this up on the website for you guys for like $4 or something. And guess what? The doors to awaken are going to be opening in a few weeks, but the waiting list is open. So I'll be posting about that in our group, Your Spiritual Awakening Community. Super excited to start building that waiting list. And super excited to welcome new people in the program in a few weeks. The girls that are in it right now are doing amazing. Just amazing. I love seeing people awaken. So I am sending you guys all love. And until next week, have a beautiful weekend. All of you guys.